Hey everybody, and welcome to the BullSheepParty. And in this one we're going to be taking a close look at the newly added Comet S2, also known as the Porsche. As always, we're going to be taking a look at its exterior, its interior, the way it handles, customizes, and all that good stuff in Los Santos Customs. And after that we're going to be taking it for a test drive, and I'm going to be telling you if indeed is worth it. And in case you're wondering, in order to unlock the trade-in price for it, you need to have a certain level of reputation. And in case you're wondering, I'm not gonna be buying one, cause I already got it. And in case you're curious why we're taking a look at the vehicle during the night, well, this is why. Even though we're gonna be starting off with the exterior of the vehicle, this is something that I can showcase during the day. Just how cool the lights look, and you'll see what I'm talking about in just a second. And I really love the attention to detail here. And keep in mind that the S2 is based on the Type 992-911. And in my opinion, they nailed the headlights and the taillights of this, and they just captured the essence of it. And as for the rest of the exterior of the vehicle, you can just look at its beautiful lines. As I said before, I think Rockstar did a fantastic job capturing the essence of the vehicle perfectly. And let me know in the comment section down below, but from this angle, from the rear, I believe it looks like a Boxster. Huh, weird. In any case, I think it's a beautiful vehicle. As for its interactivity, this is the level you can expect from it. You can open both doors, the hood and the trunk thing. And it should be said that this is the first and probably only vehicle from this DLC that has a rear mounted engine. Oh my god, it's so cute! That's what she said. Moving on, this is basically all about the exterior. It's pretty nice. As for what the car feels when you get inside it, well, I'm gonna be answering that in just a moment. First off, I believe the interior of the vehicle is unique to it, and one cool thing, look at the awesome gauge cluster and listen to this. And keep in mind that we're listening right now to the stock version of this, and yes, you saw that right, it has a digital speedometer. As for answering the question what type of drivetrain it has, I think it should come to no surprise that it has a rear-wheel drive train. Just like basically every single one of the vehicles that I've seen from the DLC. And with that, we're off to Los Santos Customs to see what we can customize on the 992. I mean the S2. I can't wait for you guys in the comments to tell me that I'm wrong and it's actually based off a Boxster. I really can't wait. Anyhow, on our way to Los Santos Customs, I'm gonna be sharing with you my thoughts of the stock version of the S2. And I gotta say, I believe this is the funnest stock vehicle that I've played with so far from the DLC. Oh, and one thing that I forgot to mention before is that it has 2 seats and only 2 people can sit in it, which I'm sure is not a problem for you since you don't have any friends. Just like me. As for the performance of the vehicle, the brakes are pretty much non-existent. The handling feels very floaty and actually very satisfying. Acceleration is decent and the top speed is sort of okay. All in all, it's a pretty solid stock vehicle. And because it's the first rear-engine vehicle from the DLC, I'm really excited to see what kind of customization we can have for it. And there's only one way to find out. And here we are in Los Santos Customs, and one tiny little thing that I forgot to mention about the vehicle is that it's a part of the sports car category. And moving on from that, the first thing we're gonna do, just like we do with every vehicle, is upgrade all the performance options up front so I don't forget anything. And one thing that I want to point out here is that this is the first vehicle that I've seen from the DLC because it's a rear-mounted engine sort of deal. You can't customize anything about the engine, which I understand, but it's kind of disappointing. Anyways, starting with the customization of the front bumper, these are all the customization options you can expect. And in my opinion, as I've said before in numerous videos, there's something here for everybody. You might not like all the options, but I'm sure you'll find one that you absolutely love, and you'll put it on your vehicle. For me, it was this one. And moving on to the next customization option, which is gonna be the exhaust, and this is pretty disappointing in my opinion. I see barely any difference between any of the exhaust options, and it was sort of a missed opportunity here. As for the fenders, I understand people like fenders and they like to make their vehicles more fendery, but that's definitely not for me. And speaking of things that are not for me, I'm definitely not gonna do any of the hood headlight options. And speaking of headlights, here are all the headlight covers you can put on your vehicle. You can even delete them, so the vehicle is basically undrivable at night. Smart. And the hood latches, or the trunk latches I should say, are shared between this and all the other vehicles from the DLC. As for the hood options, in my opinion, these are fairly disappointing. And yes, I understand for aerodynamics it's better to have it this way, but it's a game after all. Maybe they should have put something more provocative here for other players like me. As for the interior customization options, they are shared between all other vehicles from the DLC, so we're not going to be going over them. If you're curious to see them, you can watch one of my other video reviews. And my most hated customization option of all time is the liveries. And here are all the things you can buy for the S2. And even though I'm a big hater of liveries, I gotta say, I kind of like this one. So, you know what? I actually bought it. What? You guys look like you haven't seen a hypocrite before. And one cool thing about the S2 is that you can remove its front license plate altogether. And this is pretty standard, you can customize the color of the rear license plate. Cool. Next up we have stupid options, roof accessories. Okay, none of those. And let's see what type of roof styles we have. We have secondary, carbon, and primary. And since we have a carbon hood, might as well. And here are all the skirts you can put on the S2. And just because I have a carbon hood and a carbon roof, I'm gonna put a carbon skirt on it as well. And cool, we have different splitter options that go from something conservative to something completely ludicrous. And after we're done with that, it's the most interesting option of all, in my opinion, which is spoilers. I mean, spoiler in terms of aerodynamics, not in terms of... never mind. One thing that I didn't mention of the vehicle so far is that it has a hydraulic spoiler, and I'm a big fan of those. And one other curiosity is that the traction bar is already maxed out, so I'm not sure if putting on a spoiler is gonna... Oh, that's just overcompensating for something. Anyways, as I was saying, I'm not sure if putting on a spoiler is gonna increase the traction bar further. But only one way to find out. Sun strips are completely pointless in my opinion, but since this is a review video, here are all the options for you. As for the suspension option, this is really interesting. Usually, cars don't look good when you put in the competition suspension. But this is the exception to the rule. And because I really like how the rims look, I'm gonna be keeping them. And this is a customization option, to my knowledge, is unique to this vehicle. I've never seen another car having a wind deflector customization option. And with that, it's finally time to respray our vehicle and choose a color for it. And I gotta be honest with you guys, I like the blue, but I wanted something lighter. And I think this is gonna be it. And as for the secondary color, I chose something even lighter, like white. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure the vehicle looks great in all different sorts of colors, but I really like what I did here, especially with the fire interior. Get it? Cause it's red. I'm sorry, that was lame. And as a punishment, I'm not gonna be wasting any more money for the color of the speedometer. So let's exit Los Santos Customs and see what we did. Woke up this morning, got yourself a Porsche. And as I said, inside Los Santos Customs, I think the vehicle looks absolutely stunning. Doesn't sound bad either. And I'm happy to say that even though I changed the spoiler thing, the spoiler is still hydraulic, which was actually a big worry in my eyes. Now, down to business. How does it behave and perform after customizing it? Wow, that was unfortunate. If you're able to overlook my horrible driving, please try to overlook it. What we have here is a very, very special vehicle. When saying if something is worth it or not, I usually do two separate categories. If you're willing to race with it, or if you just want to have fun with it in the open world. I haven't looked at charts or anything, first of all because this is a completely new vehicle, and secondly because I don't care for those, but I believe the S2 is somewhere near the top of its class. And it feels very nice, so I'm assuming it's gonna be good for races. As for having fun with it and just driving around Los Santos with it and probably role-playing, it's incredible for that. Not to mention the insane customization it has that usually you can only expect from Benny's vehicles. So, to answer, is this vehicle worth it? I think definitely. I'm really happy that I got it, and I'm not gonna be selling it anytime soon. Probably. Oh, and we've arrived at the golf course. Yeah, that looks about right. And thank you all for watching the video. Hopefully you liked what you saw. If that's the case, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I have another video to make, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.